Carolina Panthers free agent running back Miles Sanders had some comments about his former team, and the Eagles fans on Twitter absolutely went off on him, man. And some people may just think that it's just a bitter breakup and some bad blood after the fact, but these comments seem to hit Eagles fans the wrong way. Sanders had a lot of thoughts about his last game with the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and he had some stark comments about the coaching. The Associated Press quoted Miles Sanders saying, "Last game of the season for all the marbles? Everybody can answer those questions." And when Sanders was asked about how disappointed he was using the Super Bowl, if they put themselves in my shoes, would they be happy? I don't want to make headlines, but if it does, I don't care. I can get into it another day, maybe. Maybe you should ask them why I'm moving here. And of course, in Eagles fashion, they hate everybody that's not wearing midnight green or Kelly green, whatever color you want to talk about. They went off on him in the comments. So in this video today, we're going to talk about what the Eagles fans said. There's some truth to it. This is just a bitter breakup, and what Miles Sanders' role could be after leaving the Eagles and why he was attracted to the Panthers so much and what his future with the team looks like. We're starting right now. What up, dude? My name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Blunt, the Sports Talk. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you get notification every time I drop a video, because I do Panthers news and updates. I break down different quotes and takes like this. Got film analysis, live streams, podcasts, stuff like that. So subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up as well, because this is going to be a very interesting one too. But also, if you're an Eagles fan, let me know how you feeling about Miles Sanders down below in the comments at this point. Is it another bitter breakup? Are you cool? You just moving on to the next one because you got a new running back? Let me know how you feel down below in the comments. And Panthers fans, let me know how you feel about the acquisition of Miles Sanders. Do you think he's going to have a good year this year? He was fifth in the league last year in 1,200 yards rushing. So he's going to be looking to build on top of that. So let me know how you feel about Miles. So even though Miles Sanders reached those numbers, it was a career year for him for the most part, but he was still allowed to hit free agency by the Philadelphia Eagles. And for all reports that I've read, he wanted to come back to the team, but they just never could get on the same page as far of terms of just a salary number. So you could say that the Eagles pretty much saw him as expendable, or they just lowballed him or whatever, but the Panthers jumped at the opportunity. After moving on from Christian McCaffrey, they wanted to bring in a bell cow running back because they know they were going for a young quarterback, which is now Bryce Young, but they wanted a running game for him to be able to lean on. But what are the reasons why the Eagles felt that he was expendable? Because I think it's clear and obvious that Miles Sanders came down here for more opportunity. We've heard Frank Reich echo time and time again that they see Miles Sanders as a three-down back, that he was used a lot more in the passing game as a rookie with the Eagles, and they want to get back to using him that way. And of course, the Eagles in the Super Bowl, when the stage was the highest, he only got about 7 carries for 16 yards. It was kind of upended by Kenneth Gainwell. Now, Eagles fans will point to the fact that Miles Sanders actually fumbled out of bounds in the first play and kind of fumbled on another instance that was blown dead, and he just seemed ineffective at times in that Super Bowl. And that's fair to say because the film doesn't lie on that. However, you can't let one game upend everything that he did throughout the year when rushing for 1,269 yards. But like I said, they saw him as expendable, and I think it's mainly because of that vaulted offensive line. They probably had the best offensive line, in my opinion, in the league. Just studs all the way across the board. According to the numbers at Pro Football Reference, Miles Sanders actually led the league in yards before contact. Yes, before contact. Yards before contact is typically a good indicator of how good an offensive line blocks, because that's the amount of yards you get before any defender even gets your hands on them. That means those offensive line had guys hemmed up like they were throwing them out the club, and allowed Miles Sanders to lead the league in running backs with yards before contact. That's a crazy stat, because if that's the case, they may feel like they can get any capable running back to come in for cheap and do the same thing Miles was doing. And they did replace him with some pretty quality backs in Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift. Now, Eagles fans, they are being bitter because saying that they upgraded at running back with those two guys, come on, let's be for real, man. Let's be for real, because I do like Rashad Penny's game. He just can't stay healthy. DeAndre Swift, he's a decent back. He can't stay healthy either. So we've never seen them have any type of level of production similar to Miles Sanders this past year. So saying that they upgraded is just definitely them being bitter. And it kind of is what it is, because the Eagles fans don't like anybody after they leave the team. We saw that with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson when he signed with the Lions and had some comments about not being paid, and some of the fans, I guess, from the Eagles fans went off on him on Twitter as well. So it seems to be a pattern, but not just the Eagles, it's with any organization, even the Panthers. Any kind of soundbite that they see Christian McCaffrey put out about how happy he is to be in San Francisco on a way better team with a more successful organization, they get pissed off in all their feelings, even though he's not wrong. So this is just kind of a pattern for NFL fan bases, but it seems like the Eagles, they've been going to that winning the NFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl. They tend to have a pretty big fan base and a rowdy fan base, so theirs gets amplified to the 10th power. But I don't think they really just discriminated against Miles Sanders, because if you look at the numbers this year in just free agency, the NFL sent a message out that most running backs are expendable, because you have guys like Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook who are both sitting in free agency right now without a team. Yes, they may have some suitors, but it's definitely probably not the price that a veteran running back like them would want. You also have guys like Saquon Barkley, who was pivotal for the Giants playoff run this year, who got franchise tag and can't get the contract that he wants. Josh Jacobs led the NFL in rushing yards as a running back with the Raiders in his final year. Didn't get his 5th-year option guaranteed before, and he got franchise tagged as well. He's looking for a long-term deal. He can't get one either. And to really put things in perspective from the running back position, Miles Sanders actually signed the biggest deal for a running back in free agency to this date right now. Now, we'll see obviously what Dalvin Cook gets, because I think some people think that Dalvin Cook is better than Miles Sanders. That can be debated, however, but we'll see what he gets. But regardless, Miles Sanders signed a 4-year, $25 million deal with the Carolina Panthers. A pretty decent amount of change for a running back, especially in the state of the NFL economy right now. But even that is only with $13 million guaranteed, so just a little over half of that contract is guaranteed, and the Panthers have an out from that contract within 2 years. So you still can't get any kind of crazy job security as a running back overall. So I don't think it was just the Eagles were so super down on Miles Sanders because of they thought that anybody can run the ball or whatever. That's just kind of the nature of the business right now in the NFL and the running back position. With this amount of money that Sanders signed for, he will have to prove that he is the man and that every down back. We know Frank Reich does like to use the running back by committee approach, of course, so he's not going to be carrying the lion's share. He's going to be splitting carries with Raheem Blackshear and Chuba Hubbard, who I think is going to have a good year. But with Duce Staley as the running back coach, we've seen him also get very productive amount of yardage from his running back group overall as well via committee, as he did the same thing in Detroit previously with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. So how will Miles Sanders fare in a new system? Because the Panthers do have an ascending and fairly young offensive line. They've made definitely upgrades. They have a great offensive line coach in James Campen, but there's still levels to this, and they're not on the level of the Philadelphia Eagles' dominant offensive line. So how will things look with Miles Sanders running behind a different group who's not the one that's going to help him lead in yards before contact? Yes, I think the Panthers offensive line group will cement themselves in that upper echelon this year. Like I said, there's still levels to this, man, and even the talent around that offensive line with the Eagles is going to be starkly different from the Panthers, because the Panthers, Miles Sanders could probably be the biggest weapon and most dependable weapon on their team. But with the Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, he might have been, what, the third, fourth option in that offense. So the focus is going to be on him down here in Carolina in terms of opposing defenses. So what will Miles Sanders do? You guys let me know down below in the comments what your predictions are for Miles Sanders' first year with the Panthers. Do you think he can be just as productive? Are you seeing a 1,000-yard year coming? Because it seems like he's going to be that bell cow. He will definitely get fed by this system, but I want to get you guys' thoughts, of course. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and the bell icon. That way you get notification for the rest of my videos. I will be dropping a film breakdown on Miles Sanders, so make sure you stay tuned for that and have on notifications. I'll see you next time. Peace.